Darkness falls into roars. Old films you blocked. Hollow wars from the crypt. Tales arise. Yorkshire keep. Cursed night skies. Friday night, fierce embrace. Eyes wide, arms raised. Grotesque past, shadows near. Upon your with fear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams at night. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told, torn to shreds. Your psyche, waking dead. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, arms race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Upon your with fear, disappear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams ignite. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Disappear. Evil laughs, bloody might, old and new, pure terror sight keeps with you. Truth unveils, endless dread, no veil. Friday night, fears embrace, eyes wide, arms race. Grotesque past, shadows near, upon your with fear. Disappear, disappear. Disappear. Chloe, let be God. We're with you. Done. Oh, there. Free. Phil.
Hey up, it's Steve, the old Yorkshire geek. Welcome to episode 122 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And this week we're doing Damien, Omen II from the Omen trilogy. Although there's more of them now, but never mind. A really good film, a decent sequel to an amazing movie. We did The Omen ages ago, so now it's time to do Omen 2 from 1978. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We should be live on YouTube, let me check. Yes, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, yes we are, and we're live on Twitch. Yes we are, we're live on Twitch. Huzzah! Right. Explore the description for various links for merch, such as this smashing t-shirt. My social medias, other stuff, I can't remember. My Patreon, websites, my books, etc. And all that stuff. Become a member, and then you can get early access videos and exclusive videos. Blah-de-blah. That's on YouTube, obviously. Windgrace is in the house saying 2 Omen, 2 Furious. Yes, it is. Or is it Omen 2 Electric Boogaloo? I've never really... Was there a film called that? I don't know, but everybody says it now, don't they? Anywho, right, so Omen 2. Info about the Omen, Damien Omen 2. Directed by Don Taylor, although the original director was Mike Hodges, the director of Get Carter and Flash Gordon. He was the original director of this film, but he didn't get on with the producer, Harvey Bernhard. He didn't get on with him. I've watched the Blu-ray. There's got a commentary from Harvey Bernhard on it, and I don't think, it just didn't like Mike Hodges, it seemed. Every decision that Mike Hodges made, Harvey Bernhard disagreed with, so he ended up firing him and got Don Taylor in. Don Taylor's done... I can't remember. The only film I can remember seeing his name attached, he's done loads of stuff. I could look it up, I can't be bothered. He's Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I remember he directed that. He's done loads of other stuff as well. Anywho, it stars William Holden, Lee Grant, Jonathan Scott Taylor as the eponymous Damien, Robert Foxworth, who on the commentary, Harvey Bernhard kept calling him Farnsworth for some reason, Lou Ayres, Sylvia Sidney, Lance Henriksen, Ian Hendry, and Leo McKern in very brief roles at the beginning, and a host of other people. What's his face? I'm blanking. Jerry Goldsmith returns to do the score. Didn't win an Oscar this time. He won an Oscar, didn't he, for The Omen? I think his only Oscar he's ever won. And it was written screenplay by Stanley Mann and Mike Hodges from a story by Harvey Bernhard. And there we go. So what was the budget? Had a budget of $6.8 million. On the commentary, Harvey, but it's not really a commentary by Harvey Bernhard, although they're watching the film. It's more like an interview. There's a fellow with him, I can't remember his name, who keeps asking him questions, and Harvey Bernhard never answers any of them. He just rambles on about other things. But he started going on about the budget, and at first he said the budget was $4 million, and then he said it was $6 million. I have no idea. And then it says they end up spending $20 million, and they never make any money. They made money on the first one, but not on the others, because the studio adds interest to the loans that they give them to make them. And I don't know. I don't think even he knew what he was on about. But anyway, according to Wikipedia, the budget was $6.8 million. And it says here box office for US and Canada was 26.5. But according to the according to the commentary, it made 60 million, so I presume that's worldwide. So it did okay, as they always do, the horror films, pretty much. Wingers says Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, there we go, is the origin. 1984. Obviously, I've not seen it. Is it one of these breakdancing movies that everybody were into except me? Because I'm not into breakdancing. Anyway, right, is that it? Yes, that's it. I've got other info as well as we go through the film. As usual, we'll not be watching the film because YouTube would throw a conniption fit and delete my channel. So we'll go through it in a series of stills. I'll try and remember the info I have gleaned about this film as we go through it. May play the odd snippet. I'll probably get a ad suitability warning. I'd say that's not too bad as this one. The Omen films tend not to be gory, although in the first one there were a decapitation. And in this one there's a good bisection. But there's not blood and pudding spraying about, so it's they did actually bring that up in the commentary, saying that they didn't want blood, gallons of blood spraying out, so it's kind of clean deaths. Anyway, whatever. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? Right, I will have to do something. There we go. Get rid of that. Pop myself down in the corner. I can never remember which one it is. That one? Yeah, that'll do. Right, we'll full screen this baby, and we will begin. There we go. Is it going to come on? The old 20th Century Fox logo. Hello, there you are. The old one, bless it. Right, off we go. We begin. Right, it's off straight away. It comes on. Dun, 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 dun. Good old Jerry Goldsmith score. Anyway, and this is. I think this is supposed to be Megiddo. Remember the original. Gregory Peck and David Warner went to Megiddo, didn't they, to see Bugenhagen, who we're going to meet in a minute. So I think this is supposed to be Megiddo, the town of Armageddon. But it's actually filmed in, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Acre or Acre? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's spelled Acre, like in an acre of land. But it might be pronounced Acre. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's filmed there, which I think is in Israel. Hang on, let me check. I've got the filming locations here somewhere. Yes, it's in Israel. So here we are. So we're here. Right, off we go. There we go. It says, there we go. A Harvey Bernhard production. William Holden. By the way, William Holden was the original first choice or whatever to play Robert Thorne in the first Omen, but he said he didn't want to do it because it was just a horror film that he didn't want to do because it was just a horror film, and then that horror film went and won Oscars and made loads of money. So when they offered him the role of Richard Thorne, Robert Thorne's brother, for the Omen II, he said, "Okay, I'll do it." Wingrace says, "Armageddon out of here." Yes, or as Def Leppard say, "Armageddon it." Anyway, there you go. Damien, Omen II. You'd think it'd be red, wouldn't you? It's red everywhere else, on the posters and everything. In the film, it's yellow for some reason. Why? Dunno. Right, so we see Leo McKern, famous. Well, I don't think famous. Yeah, he's quite famous. I think he's Australian, isn't he? Is he Australian? Let me check. I think he's Australian. He's either Australian or New Zealand. Leo McKern, where are you? Yes, Australian. But generally plays British people for some reason. Most famous in the UK for being Rumpole of the Bailey. He played like a lawyer called Rumpole of the Old Bailey, which is the courts of justice in London. The TV series in the 70s and 80s, I think. As I said, it wasn't my thing when I was growing up because it didn't have spaceships and explosions in. Anyway, off we go. Oh, there you go. Robert Fox. Well, I missed him. Never mind. Robert Foxworth. Oh, been in loads of stuff. Been in Star Trek. Annie Wingrace. A few times. It were in. In horror terms, he's been in Prophecy, not the Christopher Walken Prophecy, the Prophecy film, just Prophecy, which we've done on Friday Night Apart with Fear, the one with the big mutant bear, that one, which is a cool film. Right, anyways, racing through the streets of presumably Megiddo. Does it say in the? No, it just says Acre, Israel. It says it's in Acre. Oh right. Fair enough, but they were supposed to be in Megiddo, weren't they, in the first one? But anyway, never mind. So he's racing through the streets of Acre, however you pronounce it. He nearly hits somebody, by the way. I want to see if I can find it. I'm sure there's like a cart, a horse and cart, and I'm sure he hits it and they just cut away just in time. See if I can find it. bombing down this alley. Because it's a foreign country. You can drive like a maniac and nobody cares. Where is it? Is it that? Is it? No, is it? This here, look. Right. I'll go through it a frame at a time. I'm sure he's about to hit this cart. Am I pressing the right button? I don't know. No, that one, isn't it? Look, we're looking here, look. I'm gonna go through it. That's it, just cuts away just in time. I'll go back and we'll play it, look. I think he hit that cart. I do. Because he were turning into it, wasn't he? Anyway, whatever. Anyways, racing through there, good music by Jerry Goldsmith. Racing through the streets because he's off to a meeting. A bit like at the beginning of Jurassic Park. But anyway, he's here. Piles out of his Jeep and he's going to talk to I forgot his name already. I've only just said it. Is it Paul Hendry? No, it don't sound right, that. Ian Hendry. There we go. Ian Hendry, who plays Michael Morgan. Leo McKern's Carl Bugenhagen. I always remember Bugenhagen because it was a character in Final Fantasy VII, wasn't it? And it always stick with me. I think quite early in the game, you go and talk to somebody called Bugenhagen in Final Fantasy VII. And I always think, why have they named somebody after the bloke from the Omen? Anyway. Right, so he's here to talk to Ian Hendry. Remember, Bugenhagen's a archaeologist, and Ian Hendry is as well. And he shows him this really white and shiny newspaper. I don't know. It's like, and I don't know. Anyway, it's The Times. I want to see if it says the dates on it. There's a date there, look. There's a date. I can't make it out. 1976, I think it says. Because we're set now, I think it's supposed to be a week after the events of the first film. Then it says, US ambassador and wife buried together in Washington in a picture of Damien. The American ambassador kidnapped and murdered in Beirut. Not a good week for ambassadors, is it? Anyway. So it's, like I said, 1976. So it kind of becomes a science fiction futuristic film because we jump 7 years later, so it goes into the future. So it's set in, the main part of the film is set in 1983, apparently. But anyway. So he's showing Ian Hendry this picture of Damien. He says, I've seen Damien, I've seen his face on the wall. And there you go, the foreface of the AntiChrist, and he's trying to get it, and he said, I don't believe you. He says, I want you to go and talk to Robert Thorne, because the kid is with him, and he's got to be killed, he's the Antichrist, etc. So I don't believe you. Well, come and I'll show you the wall then. So he says, okay. By the way, Ian Hendry, done quite a few horror films. He were in, probably most notably, he were in Theatre of Blood with Vincent Price. That's a great horror film, is that? Really good. Vincent Price, Diana Rigg, Ian Hendry, and lots of other people. And also he were in one of the, Tales from the Crypt? One of those sort. One of the I think it was an Amicus anthology film. It was in one of those. I can't remember which one. And he's been in loads of other things as well. Anyway, so here we go. He's going to take him... by the way, we learned that he's written a letter to Robert Thorne. He's got it in this box here that he's showing him. He says, I'll show you it then. So they go to this castle. By the way, it's all on location. Apparently the only studio filming that were done were for a major death scene near the end of the film. The one, if you've seen the film, you know what, the one with the elevator, that one. But everywhere else we're on location, either places like this or in actual houses or office blocks or whatever, or labs, factories, etc. All on location, apart from that one bit. Anyway, so and apparently this was a Crusader castle that was sacked by Saladin apparently during the Crusades, and according to Harvey Bernhard, the Crusaders defended so bravely that Saladin let them all go. There. But anyway, there we go. So a good bombing down, nearly runs over all these sheep. So in the go to the... again, this is all on location. Apparently this is an actual... not Templar, Crusader from that era. Construction that were unearthed in Israel. So anyway, here we go. So they're going in. Here it is. And then we're going to find the this statue that's going to play a part in the movie. It's supposed to be the whore of Babylon riding the monster with the 10 horns and I don't know, whatever. The serpent that rises from the sea and etc. The one that's in Revelation. And then they're going to show him the... we see this this mural that gives us a little potted history of Damien and the AntiChrist and all that. And Justin's here saying, hello, happy Friday. So we see there's a jackal, obviously, because Damien's mother was a jackal. Never mind that new film, The First Omen, which is a good film. But they've kind of messed about with it, haven't they? We'll see how they're doing. I think they're doing a sequel for it, so we'll see how they explain it away. But spoilers, in that film, Damien's mother wasn't a jackal. But anyway, what else? What else do we see? There we go. We see a dog, which we saw in the first film, a Rottweiler. And we're going to see, there we go, young Damien. We see him there, look. With a Medusa head for some reason. A crow. We're going to see crows in this film. Plenty. And there's Damien, again with his Medusa head. And bat wings as well, because he's evil. Anyway, there goes. So he's showing him it. Says, oh, it is him, because they just looked at his picture in the paper. And Melvin's here to scare us all now. Talking about 666. By the way, you know where you can find 666 in everyday life? I'll just show you. Where are we? Where is it? There, in a barcode. Apparently, the 666 in every barcode. Is it the end lines and a couple of lines in the middle? So that all barcodes are encapsulated by the number 666. There you go. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so they realise, yes, this is Damien. Damien is the AntiChrist, etc. As foretold in prophecy. And then it all starts collapsing. Look, all sand starts coming in. And then the tunnel collapses. They can't get out. And then it shows... this is a model, a miniature shot, which is really good, actually. And we see the sand draining in or filling in. There we go, they're coming in. And they get buried to death. Apparently Leo McKern hated this bit. I think he said he did it in 2 takes. He couldn't do any more. So they had to make do with what he'd done. I'm not surprised because it looks horrible. I couldn't have loads of sand dumped on me. So they both die there. And later on, we said that they find, his bones, the bones of Bugenhagen. But they don't mention poor Ian Hendry. Nobody gives a monkeys about him. Anyway, all collapses, look, it all caves in. There you go. A cool miniature with lots of little bricks. So there we go. There we go, Chicago, 7 years later. Right, so we're going to catch up with Damien. Here he is. Some of these early shots were actually directed by Mike Hodges. And the scenes with the reporter in the red dress that we're going to see in a bit. Another thing that irked the producer. But anyway, I think his main thing with Mike Hodges, Mike Hodges took too long getting his shots. He says he spent ages getting this shot because he wanted the camera to pan and then Damien to emerge from these flames, which we're going to see. There we go. He wanted Damien to emerge from these flames because he's the devil. Anyway, and he says he took too long, basically setting things up, and he kept going on about money and how much it cost each day. $50,000 to $60,000 a day it costs to make this film. Anyway, there we go. So he's in a uniform because he's at a military academy, or he's going to a military academy. Anyway, so by the way, that's Dave. Oh, no. Anyway, so there he is. There's Damien, played by Jonathan Scott Taylor. Have I got that right? Didn't sound right when I said it. Yes, I was right. A British actor. I don't think he hasn't done much. He's most famous for this. and in the UK he appeared in a short-lived kind of a soap opera or drama series, but whatever, called Triangle. It was set on a North Sea ferry. The triangle refers to the route that they used to go. They used to go the Triangle route, and they were in that. Anyway, so that's him, Jonathan. That's him there, Jonathan Scott Taylor, and that's Boothby, obviously, the groundsman. And because he seems a nice lad, he's saying hello to everybody. Here's his step aunt. I don't know. I don't know the character's name. Played by Lee Grant, Anne Thorne, the wife of Richard Thorne, sorry. Played by Lee Grant with gorgeous eyes. I always get leading ladies with lovely eyes in the Omen films, don't they, for some reason. First film we had Lee Remick with a gorgeous, piercing blue eyes. And in this one we've got Lee Grant. What is it with women called Lee? Don't know. With her dusky eyes, I suppose you could say. Anyway. So, they're getting ready. They're sending them off to military academy. There's Sylvia Sidney as Aunt Marion. She doesn't like Damien for some reason. I don't know if she knows about it. She just doesn't like him. Sorry, I'm picking my nose. She doesn't like him. Sylvia Sidney. She's been in loads of stuff, I imagine. I've seen her in other things, but she just sticks out to me as Grandma in Mars Attacks. I want Muffy and Slim. But anyway. So she's telling off Damien, and he's being nice to her. And anyway, so they're sending him off. This is his cousin Mark, Richard Thorne's, that's William Holden, Richard Thorne's son from his first wife, Anne's his second wife. Don't know what happened to his first wife. Anyway, so, right, they're sending him off. She likes Mark, but Mark doesn't like her. Anyway. Right, so off they go. So, bye kids, see you whenever, because you're off to military academy, just like Cow and Chicken did. Sorry, I love Cow and Chicken. So off they go, having fun, like kids do. Then it's dinner. Now they've got rid of the kids, they can, enjoy themselves now, can the adults? And apparently Aunt Marion is visiting. She doesn't live there. She's visiting because she wants to tell him something, Robert, because the billionaires or whatever, the Thorne Industries, they own. She has a 27% share in Thorne Industries. And she was going to leave it all to Richard Thorne when she passes away, because she's knocking on. But she says, there's one condition: I want you to separate the boys and send them to different schools because I don't like Damien and he's a bad influence, etc. And so they have a big row. She says, I'm not going to do that. She says, I'll give him money to charity then because it's worth $100 million. And he says, I don't care. Do whatever you want. This is the curator of the Thorne Museum being sitting there awkward. But anyway, they boot her out because Anne says, get her out of here, she's a witch, etc. But look at them eyes. Sorry, I can't get over them. Anyway, so I want her out of here by tomorrow. And he's there, Charles, to show him some slides about something they've unearthed in Acre. Anyway, so as she's saying, she's dangerous, is Aunt Marion. But anyway, Aunt Marion goes to her room, flings open the door, the double door thing, window, whatever it is, onto her balcony. And she'll wish she hadn't done that because, they're out in the boondocks in the country somewhere, so anything could come in. Mountain lions, I don't know, whatever they've got in Chicago, I don't know. Or maybe crows. Anyway, so she's gone to her room. Meanwhile, Charles is showing them the slides, and this is where we learn the things that they found in Acre. And then we see, there we go, the statue that we saw at the beginning that Ian Hendry were looking at, the Whore of Babylon. And that tell us all about that. Shows her. No, I'll tell you at the end. Anyway, so tell him all, what revelation, foretells that, it will rise from the sea, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but they don't mention that, they do later on, but they don't mention at the moment. Maybe they haven't found them yet, I don't know. They found the body of Bugenhagen and Ian Hendry, I presume. They don't mention that here. They just mention her. She's a reporter. I can't remember her name. I will look it up. Just bear with me. Where is she? Joan Hart, of course, played by Elizabeth Shepherd. What's she been in? I have no idea. Never mind. She's a reporter, and she wants to talk. She's on the way over, and she wants to talk to Richard. Anyway, there you go. She wants to interview you. Anyway. Meanwhile, Aunt Marian's asleep with the Holy Bible on her chest. There we go. So I think maybe she just suspects something about Damien. Or maybe somebody's told her about him. I don't know. But it's lying there with the Holy Bible. That won't save you, love. She wakes up and sees... Hang on. A bloody big crow on the end of her bed. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the choir's going. Sancti. Oh, that's going off. Just with a crow looking at her. Or is it a raven? I don't know. I can't tell the difference. So she just has a heart attack and dies. There we go. She has a heart attack. And then the crow flies away. There we go. Off it goes. Lots of crows in this film. In the first film, it was big bloody dogs. In this one, it's big bloody crows. Right, so we cut to the military academy. It's the first day. They're all lining up. I don't know why have they sent them to a military academy. I don't know. I suppose it instills discipline in them, I suppose. But I don't think either Mark or Damien were going to have a career in the military afterwards, because they went on to become business people, didn't they? Well, Mark would have done. But Damien, he didn't join the army or whatever, did he? Or the forces. Anyway, never mind. It's just like a military boarding school, I suppose, isn't it? You can see he's a sergeant, look. He's a sergeant, and so is Mark. So anyway, that's where we're going to meet Lance Henriksen. There he is. He's their new, I don't know what they call him. He's like the instructor, drill instructor, I suppose you could say. Platoon leader, that's it. So he's going to introduce himself. Don't know what happened to the old one. Maybe he had an accident like people tend to do in Omen films. Speaking of accidents, the curse of the Omen that they talk about with the first film, people died weirdly and all that. In the commentary, the interviewer asks Harvey Bernhard, did anything happen in the making of this film, about with the Omen, like with the first film? And he went, no. Oh, except a man died in a rail car next door to one that we filmed in, and it had 666 on it. But apart from that, no. Anyway, so we're introducing to Lance Henriksen, who it turns out is one of Damien's protectors, because he has protectors. In the first film, it was Mrs. Blaylock on it and the big bloody dog. In this one, he has quite a few. Except they don't describe him as protectors in this. They're more educators. In the first one, because he was little, he had to be protected, and now he's being educated. So there we go. So they're introducing them to him, and there we go. So anyway, right, there you go. The Thorn Building, established 1889. This is where we meet Bill, played by Lou Ayres, who you may know from Salem's Lot and Battlestar Galactica and I don't know, loads of other stuff. It says... it's a weird line here. It says, "Morning, Bill. Well, Richard." And then he goes, "By the way, I want to talk to you about something." I thought, we were talking about by the way. We've only just started speaking. You said by the way when you're in mid-conversation, don't you? But anyway, never mind. There you go. So he's some high-powered executive. I can't remember his last name. Bill Atherton. There we go. He's a high-powered executive with the corporation. Like his second in command is Richard Thorne's second in command. And he doesn't like Robert Foxworth, who is an up-and-coming young executive. He doesn't like him. Right. they're going to find Aunt Marion now. There you go, she finds Aunt Marion dead. Oh dear, she's so sad. Oh, poor Aunt Marion's dead. Anyway, they're showing them around this plant that they've got. Apparently Thorn Industries does mostly electronics and stuff like that. But Robert Foxworth's character, whose name I can't remember, obviously, Paul Buer, he wants to diversify into food and stuff like that. And he wants to sell food to third world countries because he wants to develop pesticides and fertilizers and stuff like that to grow lots of food, feed the world, but for a price. But anyway, Luers doesn't agree with that. He says it's unethical. But anyway, they're talking about fertilizers and pesticides at this plant. There we go. They're talking all about that there. And Bill doesn't agree with Paul's plans for it, and eventually Richard, falls on the same side as Bill, but that's yet to come. Right, so they're going to go talk to each of them's going to go have a little chat with Lance Henriksen. Don't diversify; it doesn't work. Oh dear. Right, so Damien goes in to see him. We see that this lad, not a fan of the Thorn family. I'm guessing he thinks they're what's the word? Privileged. That's it. He thinks they're overprivileged because they're from a super rich family. So he doesn't like them. And he gets into a fight. Bang! There we go. Mark Thorne whacks him. Damien's, by the way, is in with Lance Henriksen. Here he is. And Lance Henriksen's basically saying to Damien, if you've any problems, come and see me. Morning, noon and night. Blah, blah, blah. He says, send in the next kid. So he goes out and he sees that been a fight, and then he says, oh, another Thorn, I'm going to beat you up too. But Damien just stares at him and makes him go all do lally, look, as though something's attacking him. Looks Damien staring, but then gets interrupted. And then Mark says, what did you do to him? Says, I don't know. So Damien doesn't know he's the AntiChrist at this point. He knows something's happening to him. He's supposed to be 12 years old, so I think his 13th birthday's coming up. So he's entering puberty, and that's when his powers are going to start turning on. It's like a mutant, isn't he? But evil. Anyway, this is where Richard's telling Paul that he's siding with Bill. It's not ready to do the selling food to third world countries thing. So he says, okay, fair enough. We'll put it on the back burner for now. Anyway, so here she comes. I forgot her name already. Joan Hart. Joan Hart comes, the reporter who wanted to speak to him. She comes in this red dress, red coat and a red dress underneath. And the producer, Harvey Bernhard, was saying, I told the director, Mike Hodges, the original director, don't put her in a red dress. That was his one thing he told him. Don't put Joan Hart in a red dress. I don't know why he said that specifically. He says because it stands out like a sore thumb, and he don't want it to stand out like a sore thumb. But Mike Hodges must have thought, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do exactly that. So he put her in a red dress. And the fella that were interviewing him during the commentary says, well, why did you leave it like that then? He says, well, we're done. We're in the can. And it's obviously they couldn't refilm it or whatever. Maybe it cost too much money, or maybe the actors weren't available by that time. But anyway, so there we go. So she's in a bright red coat and dress that the producer hated. Anyway, she wants to talk to Richard, and so she talks away into his car. He's on the way to the airport, by the way. He's going back home because Anne's phoned him and said, Aunt Marion's died, so he's going back home about that. She's telling him all about Bugenhagen. There we go. His skeleton was found last week at Ye Gale's wall. Don't mention poor Ian Hendry. Never mind. So she knows all about it now. She says she's seen the mural with Damien's face on it and all that stuff. Then she talks about she used to work with a reporter who went with his brother. So she's talking about David Warner, that he got decapitated. There you go, like that. And he doesn't want to hear anything more. Says, stop the car, get out, go away. Says, you're in danger, you've got to accept Christ. There you go, put your strength in Christ, because everybody goes religious wants to see Damien's face. And but he drives away, he doesn't want to hear her. So she's all shocked. Oh my God. Anyway, this is at the museum, the Thorn Museum, where he's telling Anne that they've uncovered Egale's wall, who were a 13th century exorcist or something who painted that mural and had a vision of the Antichrist and painted that mural. And they're going to put the Whore of Babylon statue in the foyer or whatever. Anyway, there it is. Joan Hart's here now. She's come to see them. But then the phone rings, so Charles goes to answer the phone, and then he comes back and says, don't say anything, Richard's furious because of what you did, so get out. And she's saying, you're all in danger, so she gets booted out. Anyway, she's gone in her car now. She's gone to see Damien for herself. She's gone to the military academy where they're all playing that American football thing. By the way, question, see what happens when you can't just reshoot movies. I think Harvey Bernhardt were pretty, tight with the purse strings. As I said, they kept saying $50,000 to $60,000 a day it cost. Anyway, so she's gone to see what Damien looks like. She sees this fella here. She asks him, which one's Damien Thorn? And he points him out. And then just as he points him out, the referee says, take a break. So just at that point, he takes his helmet off. Here we go. And she sees his face. Oh no. And mute. Dun, spiritu. Oh, that's happening again. I think. It might be. It might not be. I can't actually remember. Probably is. There you go. So she knows now. So she, no, I've seen him. So she's driving away, saying the Lord's Prayer or whatever. To herself, and then a car breaks down because it's like Final Destination, isn't it? Really, like the Final Destination films are kind of remakes of The Omen, where people just die in weird accidents. Because Harvey Bernhardt says in the commentary on the disc, it's not a slasher film. People just die in weird accidents. Anyway, a car breaks down, so she gets out and she sees that farm over yonder. Thinks, I will go and ask for help. She'll probably get murdered. That was happened to me, though. Going off on a tangent again. My car broke down once on the motorway, and I got out, and I wasn't in any breakdown service at the time. This is many, many years ago, before cell phones were a thing. And I went to somebody's house. It had overheated in my car, so I went with a bottle, and I went to somebody's house, near the motorway. It's on the M62 motorway. And anything could have happened. I could have been murdered, but they were nice people. They gave me a bottle of water and I refilled my tank. My cylinder head gasket had blown, and I made it to a garage and got it fixed. Anyway, right, it's by the by. But anyway, right. So, yes, she gets out of the car and sees a bloody big crow. There it is, on the roof of her car. And they just it attacks. Apparently, they did this. I don't think that's Elizabeth, the actress. I don't think it's the actress. I think it's a stunt woman, crow wrangler, whatever. I don't know. But apparently, to get the crow to attack her head, they put food in her hair. So anyway, the crow attacks her. Sometimes, apparently, though, it's like a little animatronic crow, or just like a fake crow that I think if it waves her head about and it'll flap its wings, and stuff. But it looks kind of good. But it's attacking her and it's pecking her eyes out. Even though, like I say, it's not gory. We're not seeing her eyes getting pecked out. But there's just one, though. it's had this weird Mandela effect, but I thought she was getting attacked by loads of crows, but there's just that one. Anyway, never mind. So she's, like I say, she's getting pecked, look. Falls down the ditch. It's not the best day, is she, really? Anyway, it leaves her. That's not her. That's a different person, that, isn't it? Anyway, she gets up. She's blinded. She can't see, but there's a truck coming, and then now she's going to fly somehow. I don't know what. I don't know why they decided on this. But apparently, we're still in Mike Hodges territory, by the way. It's not Don Taylor directing yet. We're still Mike Hodges, and according to Harvey Bernhard, the producer, Mike Hodges wanted to polish the roof of this big truck because he wanted a helicopter shot of, because it's going to hit her, obviously, of her flying over and landing on the trailer roof. And Harvey said, "No, we're not doing it. we're not. Give over. It's just gonna hit her, but she's still gonna fly somehow. Why didn't they just show it just running over it? I don't know, but anyway, here it comes. So here she is, just stumbles out into the road, and fair enough for the truck, he's hitting the brakes and swerving, and you can hear squeals and all that. So usually they just carry on, don't they, in these films? No such thing as brakes, but they're doing his best, but still hits her. There she is, look. And here ready. Hang on, we missed it. Here ready. She's going to fly now. It's like super person. Here she goes. Whee! Because somehow, I don't know, but somehow she goes over the truck and then underneath it, a nice dummy. Why don't they just show her getting run over? That'd have been better, wouldn't it? That'd be more brutal, wouldn't it? It doesn't have to be bloody. It can just be brutal. Just showing her getting, under the truck. That'd have been horrible. Not getting. How did it? I don't know. But anyway. So that's the end of poor Joan Hart and the Crow Watchers. That's my work done for the day. I shall fly off to the next victim. There it goes. Quest says they should remake Birds. I'm sure they were gonna. I think we've mentioned this before on the Friday Night Apart with Fear. There was a Birds remake in the offing, but I don't know if it still is or not. I'm sure we've mentioned that before. It rings a bell. Anyway, then we cut to a nice festive scene. I'm guessing there's a passage of time. Can't be too long though. Can't be too long, because what's happened to Joan Hart is mentioned in a minute. So, but anyway. And we're at Eagle River, apparently in Wisconsin. That's where we are in real life. It's supposed to be, I think, in Chicago, somewhere near Chicago, but the Thorn Estate. So anyway, the home for, I think, Mark's birthday is coming up, I think, and that's what the home for. Anyway, they're all bombing about on snow things. What do they call them? Skidoo. I don't know what they call them. Snow bikes, snow thing. I don't know. They're all bombing about on them. And having fun in the snow, look, and everybody's happy. Yay! And they're all lovely, happy families, and everything's great. And here's Mark's birthday cake. And apparently, I can't remember what he called them, but the figures that are on this cake, it's showing people, I think, ice skating on the cake. We're going to have an ice skating scene in a bit. Is it going to show it? Show the bloody cake, then. Never mind. Apparently the figures on the cake were these really expensive, I don't know if they're antique figures or something. I can't remember. But like $2,000 each. And the director, demanded them. I don't know if this is Don Taylor or Mike Hodges still. I don't know. Is it in the... maybe it's in the IMDb trivia. Don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, cracking me on. I don't know. No, it doesn't say. Hang on. Might do. Whatever. Anyway, they were $2,000 each, so the cake had something like that $20,000 worth of little antique figures on. Anyway, so if they can't say it's in the can these days, do they say it's on the flash drive? I don't know what do they save them on these days. I don't know. What do these? They film on like these red cameras, don't they? Digital cameras. What do they say? What is it? What is the saving? Is it a flash drive or is it a hard drive or I don't know. Solid state memory. Who knows? But I'm sure this will film. It's where we learn that Robert Foxworth's character Paul is another one of Damien's, protectors. So he has a little chat with him. There you go. Saying that he knows Sergeant Neff, and they're there to look after Damien because the business is going to be his one day. And he goes, and Mark's. Oh yes, and Mark's. Anyway. Right, so they're watching some fireworks. Mark's birthday, they're all rich. There you go, 13th birthday. Anyway, so it tells him that he's going to do like an initiation, but we don't really see that. But it says he'll do that one day, watching the fireworks, saying "Happy birthday, Mark." I wonder, did they call him Mark? Did they give him that name deliberately? Because he's one of the apostles, wasn't he? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Did they give him that name on purpose? Don't know. Anyway, the famous ice skating. It's hockey. They're playing hockey on a frozen lake, on a real frozen lake. This is where Lou Ayres is going to cop for it. All these hot dogs and burgers and I'm starving. Anyway, so it's where we learn that she says, "I'm sorry about your reporter friend." He's like, "Yeah, no, it's really weird. She got hit by a truck on a deserted road. How bizarre." Never mind, she had her eyes pecked out by crows. Gloss over that. But anyway, and he just goes. So he's not that bothered. Anyway, they're all having fun playing ice hockey. And Lou Ayres is out there now. He's like a 95-year-old man skating about playing ice hockey. But the camera's going to pan now, watching them. I think we're going to have scary music. With a crow that's probably taped. I bet that crow's taped to that branch, so it stays there. I bet it is, because they cut away quickly. We just need it for the establishing of the crow is there. Just taped it to the to the branch. Anyway, so they're all having fun playing hockey. But then here he comes. I think this is supposed to be Lou Ayres. I don't think it is. Here he comes, and he falls in the ice. Hang on a minute. There he goes. He falls into the ice, into the water, through the ice. And he gets pulled under, I think, by the current or something. Don't mention that. I might be getting this mixed up with the Dead Zone. That happens in that as well, doesn't it? Somebody gets pulled under by the current. I think they don't mention it in this. Anyway, Bill Atherton's being pulled under the ice. Nobody gives a monkeys, really. They just wanted the food. But there he is, under the ice. Done for real. They got I can't remember his name, but they got a stunt, an underwater cameraman. So there's actually two of them under there. There's the stunt man. I presume he's in a wetsuit and all that. And there's the cameraman as well that we're going to see in a bit. But they actually really did it. Under actual ice. It's actual ice. This is not plastic. It's actual ice. And in the commentary on the Blu-ray, the interviewer were asking, what safety precautions did you take? What did you have to do? For safety and all that. And he just says, well, he just had to not, make it to the hole because he held his breath for 2 minutes or something. He had to make it. It went about 30 or 40 feet, and he just had to make it to the hole so he could get out. And if he didn't, he'd be in trouble. I thought, well, that's not very good, is it? They must have had a diver in there with him. I don't think Harvey Bernhard knew what he were talking about. They must have had a diver in there with him, to give him oxygen if he needed it. But anyway, never mind. But anyway, so they're following him under the ice, but they can't get him, and he drowns, obviously. And it's all sad, so, that's put the mockers on their day, hasn't it? Anyway, Quest says, is it the third movie they bring up old Nick? No. But you do see Jesus at the end, but they don't bring up old Nick. They mention him a bit, but, we don't see him. Because it's Damien's story, isn't it? Anyway, so there we go. So poor Bill Atherton's cop for it. Pardon me. Remember, he were against Paul's plan. And Paul is one of Damien's protectors. And here comes Paul now saying, oh, I'm sorry and all that stuff. Paul, looks like you're getting Bill Atherton's old job. So he's moved up. But look, smiling, look. Anyway, so back to work. There he goes. He's got his face on Fortune magazine. Anyway, and he's gone forward with his proposal. That originally Richard Thorne says we don't want to do that. His fertilizer thing, feeding the world for a price. But now that's happening because that was one of his conditions of taking the job. Didn't Damien name the pike in that stream Old Nick? Oh, right, I don't know, maybe. I can't remember. I can't remember. Maybe so. I think I've only seen the third one a couple of times, so I can't really remember. Maybe so. You're probably right. Anyway. So is that what you meant? You were talking about the pike in the whatever it was. Shall we look it up? Hang on, I can't see. Did it? Right. Final conflict. Omen 3. Right. Transcripts. There we go. And now I shall do a Control F and type in Old Nick and see what it finds. There you go. I'll show you the pool where Old Nick hangs out. Old who? Old Nick is down there somewhere, lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce. Did you know that Old Nick is the name for the devil in England? But of course I know, but it's a great name for a pike. There. So yes, you were right. Quest was right. Anyway, right, where were we? Right, yes. So that's where we learn that he's going ahead with his plan to feed the world for a price because he's evil, and he's telling him, don't like the way you're doing things, and so, sorry. Anyway, lots of that. Leave it to me. He says that a lot. Leave it to me, or I'll look into it, and I'll take care of it, and stuff. People talking to him, but we know he's just murdering people, probably. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the academy, it's history class time, learning about Napoleon and his Russian campaign. But Damien and I think Mark, who there we don't see, is drawing a picture of the teacher, as you can see there, and they laugh about it, and then he owns up to it, and then the teacher says to him, oh, you know all about this, you're that clever. And he says, well, I know a bit. So then he starts asking him. So he knows all the answers to the questions, and starts asking him dates, and so he knows all the answers to the dates, going through. There you go. The Emperor's death, 1821. Black Death, 1334. Abraham Lincoln's death, 1865. Thomas More, 1535. Going through all that. William McKinley, 1901. But then Neff appears and says, Thorne, come here. And because he's rattled the teacher because he knew all the answers. He says, stop showing off. There you go, you were showing off. It says, somehow I knew the answers. I don't know how, I just knew the answers. And he says, well, you're special, and someday everybody will know who you are, but today's not that day. He says, I don't understand. He says, well, go get a Bible, read Revelation chapter 13, then you'll know who you are. So that's what he's going to do. So now he's going to find out that he is the AntiChrist. So here he is. hang on, there he is. He's got his Senna Bible. I mean, in the first film as a kid, he couldn't go near a church, could he? He started screaming and shouting, but now he can hold a Bible and he's fine. Anyway, so he goes to his room while these are making lots of noise in the corridors, playing trumpets and drums. I'll be saying, shut that noise off. So he's reading all about that. There we go. And this is where we learn to do the beginning of the Iron Maiden song, Number of the Beast. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the beast, for it is a human number. Its number is 666. Anyway, so that's what he's going to learn here. He's reading all about it. The number of the beast. Hang on, I'm going to say it here. There we go. His number is 666. So now he knows. So he's learned that, there'll be a mark. He's got a mark on him. Remember, that's the mark of the beast, isn't it? The bloody barcode. But there he goes. He knows it's under his hair, so he's going to try and find it. There you go. Sees it there. Spiritu Sancti. Giving it all that. So now he realises. So he's upset a bit now because he's shocked. So he goes running off through the woods to he's down on the dock of the bay and just shouts, "Why me?" And the devil obviously doesn't answer. But anyway, so now he knows who and what he is. So now he can be proper evil now. So here he is. Mark's saying, "What's matter, Damien? Why aren't you speaking to me?" He says, "Oh, I'm okay, go to sleep." While they're doing the... I'm saying, "Stop playing that bloody bugle, I'm trying to sleep." Anywho, this fella's come back from India. I've forgotten his name. Pagarian, something like that. Hang on, I'll tell you. Pazarian, there we go. Pazarian, played by Alan Arbus. He's one of... he works for Thorn. I think we saw him earlier on, I think, in the plant. He was the one driving the buggy thing that they were in. He'd been over to India to see about buying land, for Paul's plan to feed the world for a price. Anyway, he's back now because stuff's been happening and people have been dying. Anyway, he's trying to phone Richard Thorne, but they're not there. So he phones. There you go. He phones Paul, and he's there in his 40th floor apartment in Chicago, which is where this was actually filmed. So a cool view out the window. Needs some curtains though, really, doesn't it? Anyway, so he's saying, "I'll take care of it." He's there now. He's arrived now. So he's phoned him up. Now he's arrived, and he's saying, "People are dying. I've been to all these places, and the people that resisted us buying their land, and all, suddenly they got murdered." And they say, "Are you sure?" And said, "Yes, I'm positive." He said, "Well, I'll look into it." Anyway, so he says, "Anyway, Richard wants to talk to you. The P-84's playing up at the plant. Go and sort it out." So that's what's going to happen in a minute. Look, oddly, on the same day that he's going to check that out, the P-84, whatever that is, at the plant, the military academy is having a field trip to said establishment. So here they are. They all arrive, pile out. Anyway, let's make sure we're still going. Yeah. Did it. Yeah, right. Just checking Rumble and Twitch. So here they are, being shown round the plant, and it's all very, very interesting. Oh. Anywho, so they come round here. So one of this computer controls everything. 'Cause it's 1978, remember. But we're going to get a little cameo from Harvey Bernhard, I've mentioned several times. There he is with his bald ass head, playing a technician with about 4 lines later on. Anyway, oh look, Damien's watching him. What? Because he knows, because he's an enemy now. Because he knows what's going on. People are dying. He's gonna die soon. You know that. So anyway, so they're going checking on the I forgot what it was already. P84, whatever it was. Checking on the thing. He's going to go check on that. Meanwhile, Paul's giving some sort of speech. Can't remember what for. Oh yes, he's just telling him that he's starting work on the P84, and I think he's going to head over there now. So they're doing that, checking these valves, and he's going through. Check valve 3. Yeah, fine, it's fine. Yeah, go check this. Yes, it's fine. And then, something's wrong. There you go. What's wrong? And then there's a big explosion. Shut down P84. But then there's all, I think it's supposed to be pesticide or something shooting out. It won't shut off. So the poor fella, hang on, there's a fella already. There he is. He's ligged out with foam coming out of his gob. And poor Pizzarian, there we go, he's ill as well, so he's going to fall down. And all the kids come out coughing and spluttering. There you go. Apart from Damien, it doesn't seem to bother him. There you go. Paul sees Damien there. Look, he's fine. Sancti Spiritu. Oh, that's going off again. Anyway, so they've taken them all to hospital. And this doctor here says, they're fine. The kids are fine. They breathed in a bit of the stuff, but they're going to be okay. They'll be coughing a bit, but they'll be okay. And he says, but I want to talk to you about Damien. Is he all right? Yeah, he's fine. It didn't affect him at all. But I want to do some more tests on him because there's something weird about his cells. He says, all right, okie dokie. But Damien kicks off and says, I don't want to stay in hospital. And so Anne says, well, can I just bring him in next week? And the doctor goes, oh, okay then. Whatever. Okay. So they take him home. Damien's looking shifty now. He's not innocent anymore. What's going on here? Can't remember. Some sort of... Oh, it's a lab, isn't it? It's a lab. It's the doctor in his lab. He's going to come to a sticky end soon. Right, so he's doing his tests on Damien's cells. There we go. Blood, bone marrow of the jackal. Is there a book that's got pictures like that in of jackal blood cells? Probably. There probably is, isn't there? It's not being made specially for this film. Yeah, I imagine so. Anyway. So he's found out that... is that still playing? No, it did. He's found out that Damien has jackal DNA, because remember, his mother was a jackal. Literally. Don't believe that film. I've got it right way up. Yes, don't believe that film. Although it is a good film. The first... where were we? There you go. So he's phoning up. I think he's phoning up Richard Thorne. I think. Oh no, talking to Ben. Is he? Or is that the Doctor Ben? Man, mate. Who's he phoning? Hello, Ben. Who's Ben? Who the hell's Ben? Need to see you urgently. Can they come down? I'm guessing maybe he's in one of the other labs. Something I don't understand. And off he goes. Yes. Oh, he's getting his samples. He's taking them down to Ben, whoever Ben is. I'm guessing he's in another lab. So off he goes, going down. He's got to go down in the elevator. There it is, the elevator. It seems to be playing up because he's looking weird and he's pressing buttons there. He wants to go to floor 16, but it goes up instead. And he starts saying, "No, why are you going up?" Elevators do weird things, don't they? Maybe there's somebody because it goes up all the way up to the top. Maybe there's somebody up there that pressed the button. I don't know. But anyway. But then it goes all the way up to the top and then goes down really fast. Oh, no. I said he doesn't look right bothered there, does he? But it's going all the way down and then it suddenly stops and he ends up falling to the floor like that because it suddenly stops. Ooh, my arm hurt. But little does he know, all the cabling and stuff is all going and breaking and stuff. But he's going to stay there, lying there, prone like that for a bit, while he's listening to noises. But here it comes. There it goes. See, that one's coming down now, look. That one, we're going to get a good view of it. Almost like a 3D film. Here it comes. Hang on. Where is it? Because it shows it. Come on, show us. While he's there, wait. What's that noise, he's thinking? What's that noise? But it's going to show us in a minute. There it is. Look. Like 3D. And down it comes. And I'm guessing it gets super hot now, because I think, when it's going to cut through him, this is the bisection scene, because there's no blood spraying and all like that, so I'm thinking it cauterises him, because we see flames as well. Here it comes. Oh no, it's cutting out. Oh dear, there he is. Look, there's all flames and stuff, so I'm guessing it's cauterised him like a lightsaber would. So anyway, so there it goes, being cut in half, and then it goes all in slow motion. This is the film's big death, innit? Like David Warner's death in the first one was, the big, what's the phrase? Set piece, big set piece death in the first one, and this is the big set piece death for this one, isn't it? The gory one ish, except there's not blood spraying about. Bisection, not a bi-generation. Then I was expecting Windgrace to say something about it when I mentioned bisection. not gonna have David Tennant crawling out of his groin area, are we? Anyway, so there he is. So that's the poor doctor who wanted to do tests on Damien. Remember, he's out of the picture. There we go. Doctor killed in freak accident. See if I see date. What date? Chicago, no dates on his. As I said, it's supposed to be set in 1983, 7 years after the first film. 24-hour strike notice delivered by oil workers. New bond issue on ballot. School board to reconsider something teacher hiring. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Dr. J. Kane. Oh, that was his name, the doctor. Anyway. So, like I say, killed in freak accident. She's saying, "No, we're just talking to him yesterday. We want to do those tests." And now, Richard's suspicious. He's suspicious now. He's thinking, so the doctor said that Damien's cells were different, like almost not human. But she's saying, "No, it's ludicrous." Anyway, right. So. Charles, the managers, but whatever, of the curator, that's it, of the Thorn Museum's arrived at his place, and he's got a box that's come from Aker, however you pronounce it, with the letter and stuff from Bugenhagen from 7 years earlier. Remember that he wanted Ian Hendry to deliver, but obviously he never got round to it because he was buried as well. But so he's going to find that. And the daggers, look, the 7 daggers that they need to stab Damien with in a certain order, but they didn't bother, did they? But anyway. There's the letter. He's reading that, so now he knows all about Damien is the AntiChrist, etc., and that his face is on the wall of, on Gigale's wall. Which apparently is on its way. That wall is on it. They've taken that wall out of that temple place, and it's on its way. Anyway, so they're watching movies, projected movies, not on telly. They're watching a bit of projected movie. Look, Mark's manning the projector. Can't be bad, eh? Don't know what they're watching. It looks crap, but anyway, apparently it's had a nice happy ending. Cause that's what she says. Who wants a corned beef sandwich? The billionaires. Billionaires don't eat corned beef. Well, I should imagine they don't. Anyway, so there he is. Charles has arrived. Wants to see Richard. He looks a bit flustered, doesn't he? There you go. I have to talk to you. Bugenhagen saw Robert and gave him the daggers. He told Robert to murder Damien because he's the Antichrist, etc. He's telling him all this. They tell him about the Book of Revelation, and he's like, it's ludicrous. Says, no, it's true. I've seen it. Look, they've all been killed. These deaths all around Damien. We're all in danger, just like people keep telling him. But he says that the wall is arriving in New York tomorrow. Come and see it. So I'm not going anywhere. And he says, well, I've got to go see it. He says, well, you go see it then. So he's going to go off to see the wall. Is not the Pink Floyd the wall, the Yale's wall. Is Charles. Meanwhile, these Bibles are getting some use, aren't they, in this film? Mark's reading Revelation because he overheard them talking about Revelation chapter 13 and all that. So he's reading it now. And then he's going to listen to some Iron Maiden, even though it went out in 1978. 82, I think it came out. What's wrong with corn? Nothing's wrong with corned beef. You don't expect, like, these like massively wealthy families just to say, who wants a corned beef sandwich? It's better to say something else, wouldn't you? Something a little bit more exotic. Corned beef is really expensive, though, I must admit. Could have said spam. Should have been something like foie gras or pâté. Who wants a pâté sandwich? Something, proper posh. Anyway, I bet she didn't make it. She still got the maid to make it, wouldn't you? Anyway. Right, so, he's reading the letter from Bugenhagen. He's reading that. So he's like, so something is amiss, or something is afoot. So he's off to bed to sleep on it. Damien's, I think, is he crying? It looks like he's crying in bed. Maybe he realises he's going to have to kill everybody. I think he knows he's got to kill Mark in a minute, because Mark's going out. Off Mark goes. So he's showing Anne the letter, and obviously she doesn't believe it. Says it's all rubbish. Robert was sick. Promise me you're not going to get involved with this. So he promises he's not going to, and he's not going to treat Damien any different. And then he sees Damien walk past the window, looks at him suspiciously. Look, good actor, William Holden, Oscar winner for Stalag 17. Which Don Taylor was also in, curiously, the director. Anyway, so he says to her, get dressed, we'll go for some air, we'll catch up with the boys. There you go. So, anyway, Damien's following Mark. I don't know why maybe Mark just needs some time alone, I don't know. But he's following Mark. He says, hey Mark, I know you're here. And Mark says, you're the AntiChrist, I read it, I heard them talking about it, and you're killing people. He says, don't know what you're talking about. He says, you're the beast, etc. He says, all right, whatever, I am. Says, okay, I am. Come with me. There you go. He has risen, Mark, in me. Join us, and, we shall rule the world as cousins, or whatever. But he says no, so Damien makes him have a cerebral hemorrhage. So says, are you going to join? Please come with me. He says no. So he has he has a hemorrhage on the spot and dies. So Damien does a little, he thinks he's Worf after Kayla dies. Go on. In a minute. There we go. Anyway, so and they hear him obviously, and they go running up, and he says, "He just fell over. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything, honest." And so the buddy is dead. He had a thingamabob. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It didn't take long, did it? Didn't take long. Hang on, let's get rid of these. Get rid of these. I've heard other people on other channels actually complaining about. There we go. Get rid of that. Get rid of that bugger. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Where were we? So they're burying him now. They've soon got, I'm guessing it must be several days later, because they're burying him, Mark. And we're learning that he had cerebral hemorrhage, and he's probably had it all his life, and he just decided to pop then. But obviously, Richard thinks it's something to do with Damien. He's had a phone call from Charles, who wants him to go to New York. Charles has had some sort of episode, so he's got to go. So he says, I'll be back as soon as I can. Right, so off he goes to New York. Here he is, arriving in a cab at a church where Charles is hiding out. He's absolutely terrified, and he's in a room with lots of crucifixes and stuff like that. He says, I've seen the wall. So show me where the wall is. Anyway, so it's in one of these containers. It's one of these containers is where somebody were killed. Oh, for Pete's sake! Just bear with me. Narrate. Right. Unbelievable. Anyway, where were we? One of these trailers where somebody died, because there isn't an Omen curse, except a fella died in one of the trailers that had 666 on. Never mind. But there's no Omen curse, honest. So here they are. They're going to check it out. There we go. The one with Thorn written on. They don't get run over. They're fine. So in he goes. He says, I dare go in, does Charles. So he gives the key to Richard. Oh, for Pete's sake. It's getting a bit ridiculous now, this, isn't it? There we go. Unbelievable. Is that the one? Or is that something else? Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, weird. Anyway, where were we? Idiots in the chat again. Right, where were we? Just a minute, I'm just reading this. Looks like I'm going to have to go back to... just a minute, bear with me. Just to stop this. Got idiots in the chat again. It's always only a matter of time, isn't it? When this happens, which is why I go to members only. Right, that'll stop that. No, you haven't. No, you haven't, mate. Yes, bloody trolls, says Quest. Yes. Anyway, so that's put an end to that. We've gone to members only on the chat now. Yes, we have. I've heard other people though. I think it was Midnight's Edge. They've had problems, I think it was Midnight's Edge or Echo Based Network. One of them. Stuff like this happening. Anyway, where were we? We dealt with them before I could. Bloody delay. Oh, well, never mind. Thank you anyway, Melvin. Right, where were we? Oh, right, yes, they're giving him the key. Charles says, I dare go in, I'm too scared. So he goes in. He goes into the trailer. And finds finds the crate with the wall in it. But meanwhile, this train here just suddenly decides to start working all by itself. Look, it starts moving all by itself. Meanwhile, he's checking that, and then he finds the thing with the picture of Damien. There he goes, there's Damien. And, spirituals, giving it all that. So he's like, oh, it is Damien, but this train's heading towards the thingamabob, the container, and it hits it and knocks it. And it hits Charles, and Charles sometimes gets glued to this coupling thing. And so he's being pushed along and he can't get off, and now he's going to get squished. And I thought this was more gruesome when I was a kid. Maybe it was more shocking. Maybe I've become, used to, stuff like that. But you don't see anything. You don't get splattered. You don't see anything. That falls down. But there we go. He's being squashed as poor Charles, and he's there twitching and kicking. But now Richard knows now that Damien, he's going to bring about the end times and all that stuff. Anyway, it's the end of the school year or whatever, and Damien's going to get a commendation, the officer's sabre, because he's been super good. Richard has sent his Murray, his driver. He said, "Go and get Damien and Anne and bring them to the museum. I'll get a cab. I'll meet them there." So this is Murray arriving. So he's got to go. They're going to the museum. Right, so here he is. It actually said I'll get a cab. He's actually got the bloody plane, hasn't he? Or she arrived on the plane. Can't remember. I think she might have arrived on the plane. No, he's arrived on the plane. So he didn't get a cab, he got a bloody plane. Anyway. Oh no, that's what he's saying. That's saying it now. Get him and bring him to the museum. That's what he's saying. I'll get a cab. Right. So they've arrived at the museum. He's still trying to tell Anne that, Damien's evil, is the Antichrist. And she doesn't believe it. It's nonsense. So anyway, Murray arrives for Damien. I wonder what that boat is. I don't know. Is it a Viking boat, maybe? I don't know, from Nova Scotia. I don't know, but anyway. So he's saying, he's not human. He's a boy you've loved for 7 years. And he says, he's got the daggers here somewhere. We've got to stab him to death. So that we learn that the daggers are in this drawer, and she won't let him open the drawer. And he's saying, "Give me the daggers." And then she gets the daggers out and says, "Here are your daggers," and stabs him. And she says, "I've always been his," or something like that. She says something along them lines. I have always belonged to him. And I'm sure when I first saw it, I'm sure she said something like, "I am the whore of Babylon," or whatever. I'm sure I saw that somewhere, but it don't say it in now. Or am I having another Mandela effect? Probably. But anyway. So there we go. Damien's been watching on. And then the boiler room explodes for some reason. And sets poor Anne on fire. Even though she were helping him. There she is. Poor Anne's ablaze. Richard's been stabbed to death. And Damien's fine. He comes outside. Got that wrong, haven't they? T-Rex statue. Not statue. Skellington. The tail should be up there, shouldn't it? Never mind. It was the olden days before the new. Anyway, where were we? He goes outside. We hear sirens coming. And there's Murray waiting by the limo. And he just stands there and smirks a bit, I don't know, but and then the film ends. There we go. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. 2 Corinthians 11:13. There you go. Don't know what they're talking about. I'm guessing they're talking about the people that are working now with Damien, Paul and Anne and Neff and all them. And then it ends. There we go. Cool film. Not as good as the first film. Not as nowhere near as good as the first film, in my opinion, but still a solid sequel, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the third one. It's okay. I don't hate it or anything, but the third one is, I don't know, it's a bit too slow, I think. Not enough shocks in it in the third one. Josh says, just to see the end. I did that on a stream which stream was it now? I think it was a Side Trek stream. I thought, Side Trek's on, so I went on, and just as I clicked on it, they went, "Bye everybody," and went off. Oh dear, never fear, Maddie's here, harpooning the Antichrist. Anyway, so that's the end of Damien Omen II. let's have a read of some trivia, because there was something about the name Damien, wasn't it? What did it say? The popularity of the name Damien plummeted as a result of this movie and its predecessor. Oh dear. What else have we got? Let's have a read. The Thorn Mansion is the Lake Forest Academy in Lake Forest, Illinois. All exteriors had to be shot in the back garden of the academy because the school had erected a very modern structure in front of the old estate. Lance Henriksen did not get along with Don Taylor, the second director, and found the shoot very miserable as a result. Excuse me. He was hired by the original director, Mike Hodges, who was fired. Yes, as I said, Harvey Bernhard just didn't seem to like Mike Hodges for some reason. But obviously, Mike Hodges will go on to direct Flash Gordon in 1980. Anyway, so cool. Oh, I never noticed that. Never mind. I'll not read it out. Yeah, that'll do. Anyway, whatever. I've known a few Damiens. They were all criminals and assholes. There you go. Just I do that willingly. Shooting the AntiChrist with a harpoon. Would it affect him? Don't know. Would it have to be a holy harpoon? Probably. Anyway, right. So we're done. We'll leave it there. We will leave it there for another week. That's a good film. It's on. It's on Amazon. I think it's on YouTube as well. I've put links in the description where you can watch it and all that. And I say you can get it on Blu-ray. It's pretty good quality Blu-ray. Like I say, it's got a commentary on it. The UK one has anyway. So it's okay. And that's it. It's a decent sequel. I do quite like it. Could do with more gore though. But they didn't want to go for gore. They wanted to go for more, scary stuff rather than gruesome stuff. That's what they want to go for. Can take an eye. That's biblical. An eye for an eye. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? On Monday, on Sunday. I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday. Either nothing, or a sketch time, or a news thing. Or maybe I don't know. I haven't got a thing. I'm going to say on Monday, for Magnificent Mondays, we're doing Duel, Steven Spielberg's Duel, starring Dennis Weaver. I haven't got a hard copy of that, but I've got it on Amazon Prime. I bought it on Amazon Prime. Cool film. So there, it's Jaws with a truck, but Jaws came after it. Or you could say Jaws is Duel with a shark. But that's on Monday. And I don't know what next Friday That Appointment Theory is yet. I haven't decided. Justin 34 says, love Duel. Yes, so that's a cool film. Technically, Steven Spielberg's first theatrical feature, even though it was made as a TV movie, but it was released theatrically internationally. So technically that was his first theatrical feature, although officially it was Sugarland Express, which I've never seen. But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. So thanks Justin and Josh and Melvin at Quest and all the idiot trolls and Windgrace for keeping me company while we look at Damien Omen II Spiritu Sancti and all that stuff. So anyway, we'll leave it there. So hang on, let me get it sorted out here now. Where is it? Where are we? There we are. So thanks for watching. Don't have nightmares. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say the